This training video will look at how to create a listening activity with questions such as gap fill, multiple choice, and question and answers. So we arrive on our landing page and we choose the class that we want to create the exercise for and click join. And as we can see, the audio and video get set up so we can check that our microphone is working. And we then click on exercises. And I'm going to go to the plus exercise button. And I'm going to call this French listening activity in the hotel. I'm also going to set the language as French, which makes it easier when it comes to sharing it with colleagues as well. So I'm going to add a sound file to begin with. So I'm going to scroll down here and click on this, and we're going to look for a sound file. And we can have anything that we want. We can click on this, and it's going to add it to the section underneath. We'll just give that a second to arrive, and here it is. I can click and drag this now and put in the title, listen to this role play. So it can be any sound file that you've previously created. Just make sure you've clicked and selected it and that it is appearing there. You can limit the play to a certain number of times by ticking this box if you want to make it more of an assessment situation, or if you leave it unticked, then the students can listen to it as many times as they like. We're now going to add some activities that we might want the students to do with this. So, for example, we can drag this writing space, and this is just free space for students to type anything. So you might want them to type a transcript of what they hear, which might be quite challenging, or a summary of what they hear. And make sure we put really clear instructions. So I'm going to say in English. That's one option. Another option could be a gap fill activity. So I'm going to drag the gap fill over here now. And I'm going to say listen and fill in the gaps. And I have ready here, I've copied and pasted, so I'm about to paste in now the transcript, and I can then select as many gaps as I like. If I want, I can give the students the first letter, so I've just selected partial, or I can select all. This gets automatically marked by the computer, and the point goes up according to how many I've included there. So that's the gap fill activity. I can also include multiple choice questions. If I'm going to include several multiple choice questions, I need to drag one each time. So I'm going to put question 1, how many nights is the customer staying for? And I need to put the options in here. So I could put 1, 2, and then I click the plus button to add as many different options as I want. I could have 4, 5, 6 options if I wanted. But because this automatically gets marked by the computer, I need to tick on the right answer so the computer can mark it. So as I said, any further multiple choice questions you will click and drag. And the next kind of comprehension activity could be a question and answer, Q&A. So we're going to drag that here. And we need to maybe put which language to make it really clear for students. And I can put a series of questions here. So I can say, how many nights does a customer want to stay for? The tricky thing with this is that there needs to be a defined answer. You can add up to 5 different answers, but you need to put a slash to include any that might be correct. And the more complicated your answer, the more different options there could be. So this works really well when there's just a very simple defined answer. It also works really well as a translation activity. So I can click add there, and then I can add another question here. So I can add another question, question 2, but I might this time write a translation, translate into French. I'm going to say la chambre. And the answer could be bed or the bed. And then we click add. So we've got our different versions here. And we're happy with that. We're going to save it. We can view it as a student just to check that we're happy with it. We've got the listening activity here. We've got this summary area. Got the gap fill activity. We've got a multiple choice, and we've got the question and answer. So at the moment, this new activity, listening activity, has been created. It's automatically shared with the students, so they will see that. But if I want to stop that share, I can toggle like that. So I might want to save that for another time, or I can have the share available.